Welcome back to that Eurovision site, and today we're continuing with our new Meet the Team interviews for all the people who have joined us throughout the off season, going ahead to the 2026 season. I'm joined today by Aleksi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Can you just, in your own terms, introduce yourself? Who are you? How have you come here?
So my name is Aleksi. I'm from Helsinki, Finland, and I've now joined the team as a video editor. And I've been a Eurovision fan for I don't know how long, but a long time. And I think starting from the as a child, and Eurovision is something that we watched with my family every year, and it has been part of my life for many years. And I'm really excited to join the team now
And
with
what
the
made you what
video
made you want to
editing.
join the team?
Well, I've made my own podcast for in Finnish for a few years now, and so lots of times that maybe it would be interesting to join one of the fan medias that there are, and then I saw the ad or for that Eurovision site that you were looking for new people, and then I saw that especially the video editing was something that I like to do. I do it at work also, so in somewhat, and I like doing that. So combining Eurovision and something else that I'm interested in was a good thing, and then I contacted you, and it sounded interesting.
And you said you were got into Eurovision by watching it as a kid. Are there any standout memories from those early years watching it?
Well, I started watching Eurovision in the 90s, and of course, coming from Finland, those years were not that good, and Finland was always like every other year during those years, uh, because we did so badly. And it's something that I've watched Eurovision from the Finnish standpoint from quite some time. Cool. In 2006 when Lordi won, and then actually 2007 when Eurovision was here in Helsinki. I remember those like about 2 weeks, that the atmosphere that Helsinki had when Eurovision was in town, that it was something that really uh, probably even more made me a Eurovision fan than ever.
And it's been a real big change for Finland in the years since. How has that been as a Finnish fan to have seemingly everything fall into place?
Yeah, it's been really interesting because Finland had a quite a, well, it's something. Finland is a small nation, and always we've always been interested in what others think about us, and so the Eurovision has been a place that if Finland is bad, that means that okay, they might not like us in Europe, and then when there's more success in the last few years, it's also, I think, it increased the like the thought that actually we can also be good in Eurovision. But it's been really like what UMK has gone through last, well, now over 10 years that it has been as a UMK from the beginning. I've been in those 2012 from the first one, and just there's a few years that I haven't been on those finals. And I remember the first final which was in the Helsinki Ice Hall in 2012, and it was half empty, and they had to use like the crowd noise to get more excitement. And then compared to like the last 2 years in a big Nokia arena in Tampere, that it's full, it's sold out in just a few minutes. So it's a huge difference between this, and I think they now find the way how to do it rightly.
And one big part of this is everyone arguing about their opinions. That's basically what Eurovision boils down to. Which are your favorite Eurovision songs?
Well, I had to do this for the article that also comes with this, and I had to choose like five of my favorites, and that's really hard. I'm really bad at doing any sort of lists of like best movies or anything like that. Difficult, and actually, I think mine changes. If you ask me in another day, I'd say something else. But as I make the list, I have to check that I have all of those that I have in here. There are a few that are like know that they would be there every time, and then some that might change. I guess my well, like my five favorite at the moment when I did this list before, that's something that I really like. France, 1991, one of those, and then a little newer ones, Bosnia and Herzegovina from 2008, Laka, and that's the Pokušaj. That's I really like that, and also I like Ukraine. So I think then this is one of my maybe also like guilty pleasures, but 2000 also. So Shady Lady, in this, so it's also something that I like. And then I had on my list also had Norway from 2013. That was also something that goes quite close to what I listen usually like outside Eurovision, like more electronic. So that's why I also like that one.
So, who are some of your favorite artists outside Eurovision then?
I don't think that I have that. I don't think I have that many favorite artists, but in general, I listen to electronic music and also electronic folk and that sort of music. So quite usually represented in Eurovision, which is good. But outside Euro pop and electronic mostly. Yeah.
And going more into, is there a certain aspect about Eurovision or a certain like subsection of the contest that you're really into, whether it's like the graphical side or the geopolitics of it? Is there what keeps you coming back to it every year?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a combination of many things. Of course, the it can be the geopolitical political thing that I think it's interesting that there's a the European nations compete with songs, and I think it's obviously it's not. There are issues in there, but the idea is something that I like, and then the unity that it has. But then also, I have a background in. I've actually studied like TV and movie production, and then of course Eurovision is the was Europe's biggest and probably world's biggest live event outside sports. So it's always interesting to see that how it's made and what new technologies they use there and what kind of things to produce the show. And that's also really interesting. And also something that's interesting during like the national final season that you see different ways of doing entertainment programs all over Europe, and you see that there's also difference in that.
So you watch national finals regularly or just on a more casual basis?
I do nowadays. I think it's more easier now than it was like 2 years ago that there's streams that you can like more streams that you can watch. But I had also made my favorite national final song, so my knowledge of that isn't that wide as it is in Eurovision. But I think like last few years I've watched them more regularly, and so it's also it's part of the season, of course.
So which are your favorite songs that are from national finals, and from the production standpoint, which are your favorite ones to watch?
Well, as the national finals, I think one of interesting. I think it's Vidbir, as Ukraine really they know how to do. Well, first of all, it's interesting songs, but they also knew the production
Yeah.
side very well, and it's impressive what they do. So that's interesting in many ways. First the songs, and then what they do with in the Eurovision itself. And then also, of course, I'm interested in what they do in Finland and how UMK goes and how it's made and what's new and how they produce it every year. So that's also something, and that's my like national final knowledge is most wide with the with the Finnish selection.
So what are you most looking forward to ahead of the 2026 Eurovision season?
Well, I'm interested always to. Well, I'm waiting, though it's still summer. I'm almost waiting to January to begin and the national finals to start. But I'm interested to see how much this year's results are seen in the selection in 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 different national finals and songs chosen to Eurovision. How much it's in there and also I'd like to see is there something new? Has somebody come up with something new, or do we have 30 pop opera songs and few comedic ones there? Hopefully not. I always hope like a variety of songs, and of course we usually get that, but it's interesting to see how much the results are affecting next year's selection.
And outside of the contest now, what are some other things that you like to do with your spare time?
I like movies, TV series. That's what I do, especially TV series. But then also I'm a sports fan, so I have my local football team that I support during summers, and then the winter time ice hockey. In Finland the football season is played during the summer, so there's time for it then during the winter to watch some ice hockey. So that's those are the two things. And I also play football in not in any good way, but just to practice and for me myself. So that's those things that I like to do outside Eurovision.
Okay, so thank you for watching the video. Thank you for being here, and welcome to the team, Aleksi. You can learn more about Aleksi through his Meet the Team
Thank you.
article, which will be linked down below. And you can, I'm sure he'll be around for the upcoming season. You can find all the videos here, that Eurovision site. Subscribe. You can also find us on all your social media platforms that will be linked in the description. And for all your Eurovision news, also check out the website. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Bye bye.